There are two words you may have heard countless times, but rarely understand their full power: trust God. These words seem simple, but when life tests you, they become some of the hardest words to live by. There will always be unanswered questions. Why didn't my loved one make it? Why am I not getting better? Why did this person leave? Some things are not going to make sense, but God wouldn't have allowed it if He wasn't going to bring good out of it. Even when it feels like life is falling apart, God knows exactly what He's doing. He sees the bigger picture, the one we can't fully understand from where we stand. It's part of a plan that's unfolding, even when we don't see it. But what about the times when nothing seems to be going right? When you pray and get silence in return? When your hard work doesn't pay off and life feels unfair? We start to think, God, why aren't you stepping in? Don't you see what I'm going through? I worked hard, but I didn't get the promotion. We think when it changes, we'll be happy. When I get married, when I purchase my house, when I purchase a new car, when my health improves, when we have this baby, then we'll have a good attitude. That's conditional trust. God, if you meet my demands, if you answer my prayers the way I want on my timetable, then I'll serve you with all my heart. The problem with conditional trust is there will always be things we don't understand. If we only trust when everything aligns with our expectations, we miss out on the peace that comes from trusting God no matter what. It's easy to believe when life is going well, but what about when it isn't? Can you still trust God when things fall apart, when nothing goes the way you planned? Are you willing to accept God's answers even if they're different from what you hoped for? Sometimes, God's silence is a test. He wants to see if we'll trust Him even when we don't understand, when life feels chaotic. Can you say, God, even if things don't change the way I want, I'm still going to honor you. I'm still going to give you my best. When God sees that kind of trust, He often gives back what we were willing to let go of. But if you're living frustrated, trying to force things to go your way, it's time to release the pressure. God is in control. He knows what's best for you, even when you don't. We won't always understand His plan, but that's why it's called trust. If you knew every answer, if you saw the whole path laid out, there'd be no need for faith. Real faith is trusting God when you can't see the outcome, when the road ahead is uncertain. If you do this, if you lean on Him without conditions, God will work things out in ways you never imagined. He'll open doors you never knew existed, bring the right people into your life, and turn difficult situations around. But it starts with a choice. Every day, we have to decide to trust God. Not just when the sun is shining, but when the storm clouds gather. Sometimes, we wake up carrying the same worries we went to bed with. We let our burdens dictate our days. But we need to let those things go. There's too much life to live to be bogged down by the temporary problems of today. Even if everything seems to be falling apart, choose to trust God. No matter what happens, no matter how long you've been waiting, no matter how impossible the situation looks, choose to trust God. This is a daily decision. It's not about how you feel, it's about what you choose to believe. God sees where you're weak, but that's where He's strong. He sees what you're struggling with, but that's where His grace is more than enough. Give Him a chance to show you what He can do. Because the truth is, God already has a solution for the problems you're facing. He's already made provisions for the challenges ahead. You just have to trust Him and let go of trying to control everything. Sometimes we think we have so many options. We go through plans A, B, and C, and when they don't work, we finally turn to God. But He should have been our first choice all along. This is a daily decision. It's not about how you feel, it's about what you choose to believe. God sees where you're weak, but that's where He's strong. He sees what you're struggling with, but that's where His grace is more than enough. Give Him a chance to show you what He can do. Because the truth is, God already has a solution for the problems you're facing. He's already made provisions for the challenges ahead. You just have to trust Him and let go of trying to control everything. Sometimes we think we have so many options. We go through plans A, B, and C, and when they don't work, we finally turn to God. But He should have been our first choice all along. Each day brings a new opportunity to trust God completely. Trust Him around the corner, even before you can see what's there. Trust Him for your daily needs, even when it feels like there's nothing left. Our problem is that we often equate God's goodness with Him saying yes to everything we want. But God's faithfulness isn't measured by how often He meets our demands. We need to learn to trust God not just with the blessings, but with the struggles too. We have to trust Him when it feels like everything is falling apart, when we're surrounded by uncertainty. We have to trust that even in the dark moments, God is still working. It's easy to trust when everything is going well, but it's in the challenging times that real faith is tested. Trust God not just when you understand, but also when you don't. Trust Him when you feel abandoned or overlooked, when the path ahead is unclear. God is faithful. He is with you, and He will never leave you.